Hello and welcome to this FPL Gameweek 34 team selection video with me, Holly Shand. I'm heading into this one with 8 double game week players, 2 free transfers as well, so lots of routes that I can explore. Help me hit 250 likes on this one, let's get into it. Starting off with how my game week 33 is going then, I'm on 62 points so far and a big green arrow. I've had a lot of luck here, a lot of things have gone my way. Haaland captain while Salah blanked felt particularly good, especially with that late goal for him. And I also had Mings for his 15-pointer, and Steele, who looks like his first choice again for Brighton, got away with that one, a 10-pointer from him with a penalty save, even though he conceded 3 goals. Lots of things went my way in terms of the players I didn't have. Obviously going Steele over Kepa really helped me as well, and it was good to see blanks from the Arsenal midfielders and Ivan Toney as well. With 5 players still to play then, I'm feeling quite confident in this one. At the time of recording on Thursday morning, I'm 41 points off the top 100k, and I'm starting to feel like it's getting close to redeeming myself this season with an acceptable finish, but with no chips left to play, still got a little bit of work to do. Transfer plans then, and a few headaches and a few things left unresolved. I'm going to try and save my transfers until Friday after the press conferences, because there's a few situations still to be resolved. I've currently got Cher and Bruno Fernandes, both yellow flagged in my team, and the biggest problem is that I currently have no Liverpool players in my squad. Now, the key move that a lot of managers are making are getting in Salah and Trent this week and using players like Kane and Fernandes as the cash cows. But unluckily for me, I can't do the optimal transfer of Kane out for Isaac, Salah in for Bruno Fernandes and Trent in for Rico Henry. So I really need to think about what my priorities are now, how to get to Liverpool players, who is going to make way as well, because we look at the premiums. There's a few options on the table right now. At the moment, obviously Haaland's going nowhere. I've got Kane and Fernandes in my squad. Now, Kane doesn't have any doubles until the end of the season, so I'm reluctant to hold him, especially because we've seen some patchy form from Spurs as well. And I feel like his ownership's going down. There's more upside for getting someone like Salah or De Bruyne. De Bruyne wasn't a player on my radar, but then after watching him against Arsenal last night and also seeing the sheer volume of attacking returns he's got in recent games, he is a contender. Now, if you compare Salah and De Bruyne, the thing that we have to bear in mind here is that De Bruyne has the extra fixture. Salah, though, is kind of more secure of minutes. Obviously, Liverpool don't have any involvement in any other competitions. We've also got De Bruyne still to play in the Champions League. So that one extra fixture for De Bruyne, is he actually going to play one extra game when it comes down to minutes? That's the tricky thing to weigh up right now. We also believe that Salah is still on pens, even though he's missed a couple in recent games. So of the two, Salah probably on paper still looks like the better of the two options, and he provides a differential captain to Erling Haaland this week as well. So that's the thing. I think if I was to go with either of them, even though De Bruyne is attractive in a way because you've got the extra fixture, it also allows me to replace Kane with Isaac and Henry with Trent, which are the moves that I would really like to make this week. The other decision, though, is do I actually need to let go of Bruno Fernandes? Because Fernandes has to be the cash cow in order to get Salah or De Bruyne in. Now, I guess it all depends on his fitness. We don't know at the time of recording whether he's going to play in game week 33. But I think if he's in the squad, then that bodes well for his minutes in double game week 34. And you know, he's been disappointing in recent games, but he has had more of a defensive role. He's been quite unlucky as well. I think if he's moving back into that number 10 role for Manchester United, which there's no reason why he shouldn't, with the likes of Casemiro, Sabitzer all back as well, and Fred as an option from the bench, Eriksen fit as well. There's no reason why Fernandes shouldn't be in that 10 role. Nice fixtures for Manchester United. Again, he's on penalties, and the thing about retaining Fernandes is that I'm not necessarily then going to take a points hit this week. And the other thing to bear in mind, I'm not then selling one of my 8 double game week players for someone that also has a double game week. So in terms of options, I mean, plan A is probably still to go Salah and Trent in for Fernandes and Henry. That would mean taking Kane down to a Solanke. Another way of doing it would be losing Fabian Schär in defence, which would allow me to go Kane to Isaac. So there are two moves to make. The other option is obviously, instead of getting Salah in, to get Kevin De Bruyne in, but he is currently yellow flagged with a knock as well, which doesn't help me. Now, if I was to keep Fernandes, which I am leaning towards if he is fit for tonight, which I think he probably could be, because it was literally only a knock in the FA Cup. He managed to play on for the rest of the game. Obviously, we saw him in a protective boot with crutches. That was just precautionary. He's never missed a professional game through injury in his career. I could look at other options, and Kane still has to go, and I really do want to get Alexander-Arnold in, because since Liverpool have moved to that 3-5-2 formation, we have seen that Trent has become an assist machine. I think it's 5 assists in 4 now for him. And, certainly a higher ceiling if Liverpool do keep some clean sheets, which they're more than capable of doing, given the fixture ease. I think Trent's been kind of unlucky not to get more. He's dominating for big chances created as well. I could go Rico Henry out for Trent, and I could swap Kane for Diogo Jota. Now, the trouble with going with a differential option from Liverpool's attack rather than Salah is you're not getting pens. Jota is a forward rather than a midfielder, and on a couple of occasions in recent games he has been substituted around the 60-minute mark. But I think going forward, obviously double game week 34, Klopp's kind of trying to manage his players' availability, but come game week 36 and the run-in, the fixture schedule is not going to be as condensed for Liverpool. And, if Jota is still in form, as we've seen, he's got better form than Salah right now, he could have the potential to start playing 90 minutes in those final few games of the season. This move obviously doesn't get me Isaac, but I can look at doing Watkins to Isaac either in game week 35 or 36, because if I was bringing in Isaac this week, there's no guarantees he would even be in my starting 11. He probably would be, to be fair, because I'd be taking a hit of -4 and I'd have 9 doublers, so I'd probably play Trippier and Isaac. If I was to do this move, which is Kane and Henry out for Trent and Jota, that gives me 10 doublers for this week. It means I avoid the points hit. The only big problem is that I'm betting against Salah, and that is something that's really, really dangerous. Now, I will be confirming my final team on Friday. We're going to have the press conference stream on Friday at 1 o'clock, followed by the deadline stream on Saturday at 10 a.m. UK time. Do not miss them. The links are in the description below. But this is how my team selection looks as things stand. Steele gets the nod between the sticks as he's the double game week keeper. He's still first choice for Brighton. 2 home games as well, Wolves and Manchester United. So hopefully we'll get a clean sheet in the first fixture and some save points in the second. Kepa obviously drops to the bench with just the 1 fixture away at Arsenal. Don't want to be starting him in that one. In defence, I've got my only single game week player, Kieran Trippier, at home to Southampton. I think that's as good as a double game week fixture for him anyway, given his form at home this season. He's joined by Luke Shaw, probably playing centre-back, but plenty of potential for assists through long balls over the top and also for clean sheets in his fixtures. And then we've got Trent Alexander-Arnold, who's become that assist machine of double game week, including 2 home fixtures. So I'm really excited for what he can achieve. Now, it's going to be a 3-5-2 formation with a stacked midfield. So I've got a double Brighton midfield of Matoma and March. Hopefully they're not too leggy after what's been a busy 10 days for the Seagulls. Hopefully we see a better performance than we did against Nottingham Forest away. I think they're far more prolific at home anyway. Also, as things stand, I've got that double up on Manchester United midfielders, Rashford and Fernandes. Hopefully Rashford can find his form since that little injury layoff, and we get some Fernandes penalties and see him in that number 10 role where he excels and can average an attacking return a game. Jack Grealish, how many minutes will he play over the double? I'm not sure, but he's the one that I've invested in from the City midfield, so I've just got to go with it now and hope for the best. And then up front, I've got Erling Haaland, who I've got really high hopes for. I really hope he breaks a record this season for the most FPL points in the season. He looks like he's on course for it. And I've also got my transfer in Diogo Jota. Pray for me that he gets 2 starts and gets, at least 150 minutes across the 2 fixtures. It's not nailed on at all, but he has got the form for Liverpool, and hopefully his early substitution midweek bodes well for his minutes in this one. When it comes to captaincy, there's three main contenders this week: Haaland, Salah and Trent Alexander-Arnold as a differential. Now for me, I don't own Salah, so it's between Haaland and Trent, and it's only really going to be Haaland for me because he's just in an unstoppable form right now. I think it was promising that he played the 90 minutes against Arsenal, managed to get that late goal as well, and we've seen him add assists to his game. He had plenty of big chances at Arsenal. He really should have scored heavier, but I think he's got double-digit returns in his last three starts now and a minimum of 2 goal involvements per game. So, it's upwards from here in terms of what he can achieve in FPL going forward. So for me, it's going to be Haaland captain, and I may go with Trent for the vice captaincy. Any dilemmas about your own team selection for double game week 34, get in the comments. I aim to answer all of your questions within 24 hours of the video going live. Help me get to 250 likes on this one as well. Don't forget to check out my free hit video from earlier in the week, and also remember the press conference stream comes at 1 o'clock on Friday, deadline stream 10 a.m. on Saturday. Hit those notify buttons, it'll give you a notification when I go live. Good luck for FPL Game Week 34.